Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Right now, I will explain about interrupting in English. Interruption is not always negative and is often even unavoidable. Avoidable. Interjecting can be necessary for a number of reasons. You might interrupt a conversation to give a message to someone, as a quick question, give your opinion on something that has been said, join a conversation. If you find yourself needing to carefully interrupt a conversation for any of the above reasons, there are certain forms and phrases that are there are certain forms and phrases that you should use so as not to offend or otherwise upset anyone. Reason to interrupt. When you interrupt a conversation, it's important to make sure that your reason for interrupting is acceptable. Giving someone important information, asking a quick question, sharing your opinion on something, or interrupting to join a conversation are all acceptable reasons for interrupting. Remember that interruptions should generally be followed by either an apology or permission seeking question, such as, "Do you mind if I join?" Okay. Giving someone information. Use these short phrases to efficiently deliver a message or get someone's attention mid conversation. "I'm sorry to interrupt, but you are needed. I apologize for the interruption, but I had to quickly let you know that. Pardon me. I hope you'll excuse me for interrupting, but get I could quickly get you to." Then asking a quick question. Sometimes it is necessary to interrupt a conversation to ask a clarifying question or to ask a question that is not related to the topic of conversation. These short phrases allow for brief questions during a conversation. "I'm sorry for interrupting, but I don't quite understand." "Sorry for interrupting, but could you repeat?" "This will only take a minute. Would you mind telling me?" "Apologize for the interruption, but I have an important question about." Alternatively, you can use questions as a polite way of joining a conversation. You can use this to ask for permission. "Could I jump in? Could I add something? Do you mind if I say something? May I interject?" Sharing your opinion. If you feel that you have something to share or comment on a conversation, use these phrases. "That makes me think of." "Interesting that you say that, because what you said about reminds me that." "Your point sounds an awful lot like something else." Use caution when interrupting to share an opinion or story, as these are unwelcome interjections when they are not relevant, happen too frequently, or are impolitely executed. Joining a conversation. Sometimes you will find yourself want to join a conversation that you were not originally part of. You can insert yourself into a discussion without being rude using the following phrases. "Would you mind if I joined? I couldn't help overhearing. Sorry to butt sorry to butt in, but I think, if I may, I feel." Okay. What to do when you are interrupted. When you are interrupted, it's up to you whether you want to reject or allow an interruption. Interrupting someone who has interrupted you. You don't always need to allow an interruption. Use of one of these phrases. "Please let me finish." "Can I continue, please?" Let me wrap up my thought before you start." "Would you please let me finish?" Allowing an interruption. You may choose to allow an interruption if you don't mind. Use one of these phrase expressions. No problem. Go ahead. Sure. What do you want? What do you think? That's all right. What is it that you want? That you want or what you need? Okay. Once you've been interrupted, you can continue where you left off when you were interrupted with one of these phrases. As I was saying, I think I'd like to return to my argument to get back to what I was saying. I feel continuing where I left off. Okay, I think that's all. If I made a mistake, I'm sorry. See you around. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.